Shedeur Sanders traded to the New York Jets. The Cleveland Browns are in the middle of still deciding their quarterback battle as training camp gets underway. As the Browns start to get a closer look at the play styles of Shedeur Sanders, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel, one quarterback is bound to not be on the roster by the time the season starts. All are talented quarterbacks, and instead of just outright cutting one, it would make more sense for the Browns to seek out a team willing to trade for one so they can get value back in return. The quarterback that would most likely garner the trade interest is Shedeur Sanders. With that in mind, it is the New York Jets that should end up looking to trade for Shedeur Sanders before the season starts. Cleveland Browns trade Shedeur Sanders to the New York Jets. The New York Jets ended up signing Justin Fields in NFL free agency to come in and uplift the offense while getting it back on track compared to what it had been in recent seasons with Aaron Rodgers under center. With Justin Fields, he is going to bring a dual-threat ability to the quarterback position for the Jets, something they have been lacking in recent years. For Fields, he enters an ideal situation which should see him do better as he reunites with Garrett Wilson, has a strong tight end in Mason Taylor, and a solid running back duo of Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. For all the expectations surrounding Fields, those took a bit of a hit on the second day of NFL training camp, as Fields was carted off the field after what was later announced as a teammate stepping on his foot causing a right toe dislocation. The early hope is that this is minor and can be something Fields works through over the rest of training camp with just resting to get through the pain, and will be ready by the time the season starts. No matter what, whether Fields needs surgery or not, the Jets need to address their backup quarterback spot, as right now if Fields does need to miss time at all, it is Tyrod Taylor who is the backup quarterback. While Tyrod Taylor is decent for a backup, he isn't a starting caliber quarterback that can help uplift the potential of the Jets' offense. For New York, they must look to trade for a backup quarterback that can help uplift the unit, and that quarterback is Shedeur Sanders. While Shedeur Sanders fell in the 2025 NFL Draft, it wasn't due to his on-field play, and more so the off-field media drama that was speculated to come with drafting him. So far, there hasn't been any of that after he fell in the draft and ended up on the Browns, which should make him more appealing for teams to look to trade for. During his time in college, Shedeur Sanders showed he is an accurate passer with an adjusted completion rate of 80%, and went on to throw for 14,337 yards and 134 touchdowns with just 27 interceptions over 4 seasons. With Shedeur Sanders, he would provide the Jets with a reliable quarterback to be the backup to Justin Fields if Fields gets injured with his style of play at all during the season. If Fields remains healthy, Sanders lands in an ideal situation where he can be coached in a situation with a good culture under Aaron Glenn and have the opportunity to grow and show his skills when called upon to close out games. This creates a win-win trade, as Shedeur Sanders could find himself boosting his stock even more and end up being traded to a team that needs a starter down the line, while the Jets make sure they have contending-level depth to go far this upcoming season. The news broke on a Tuesday morning, just as the Cleveland skies opened up with a steady summer rain. Phones buzzed across NFL circles, timelines exploded, and in one surreal swoop, the Browns' quarterback experiment tilted on its axis. Shedeur Sanders, read the headline on every sports app, traded to the New York Jets. It felt impossible, almost cinematic. The Browns had been nurturing him through a fierce quarterback competition, dangling him between hope and pressure. But somewhere behind closed doors, general managers whispered and phones rang, and suddenly Shedeur was headed to the biggest stage in football's theater, New York City. At the Jets' facility in Florham Park, reporters gathered like gulls on a stormy beach, waiting for a glimpse of the young man who had become a talking point from Ohio to Manhattan overnight. The Jets, always in search of the next spark, had stunned the league by moving draft capital and a future starter to pry Shedeur from Cleveland. "I woke up a Brown and I'm going to bet a Jet," Shedeur told the cameras, smiling wide despite the whirlwind. He wore a dark green hoodie with the Jets logo stitched over his heart, a fresh cap tugged low over his eyes. "But I'm still me. I'm still hungry." Behind him, the organization buzzed with fresh ambition. Head coach Robert Saleh praised the move as a bold step toward the future. Veteran players watched highlights of Sanders' college tape, murmuring about his patience in the pocket and that uncanny touch on deep routes. One wide receiver grinned. "Man, you give me that kid throwing post corners? We're eating all season." Shedeur's first practice with the Jets unfolded under a sweltering July sun. The New York media lined the fences, pens ready, while teammates snuck curious glances at the newcomer. He jogged onto the field with calm, scanning the green and white landscape, then took his place behind center. Blue 19. Set hut. The ball snapped. He dropped back 3 steps, eyes flicking across his progressions. The defense crashed. Instead of panicking, he rolled right, a flicker of confidence in his stride, and uncorked a pass that hissed through the humid air like a dart. It smacked into the hands of a rookie receiver on a crossing route, perfectly in stride. The sideline erupted. The veteran quarterback room, seasoned skeptical, watched closely. One of them, leaning on his helmet, nodded ever so slightly. "Kid's got guts," he muttered. Within days, the city itself embraced him. Billboards in Times Square lit up with his image, the caption reading, "New York's new arm." Talk radio callers alternated between giddy excitement and cautious doubt. One caller shouted, "He ain't proven nothing yet." Another countered, "Did you see him in Cleveland's camp? This is a steal." Shedeur, meanwhile, found himself swept into the city's rhythm. He dined quietly at a Harlem restaurant where a jazz trio played in the corner. He walked through Central Park at dusk, headphones in, thinking about how fast life could turn. Only weeks ago, he was running routes with Brown's backups in the Ohio heat. Now he was here, the skyline glowing like a promise. His father, Shedeur Sanders, flew in that weekend. The two met on the empty practice field late at night, tossing a football back and forth beneath the bright training lights. "You ready for this, son?" Shedeur asked. Shedeur caught the ball and grinned. "Been ready, Pop. Just needed the right city." Shedeur laughed, clapping him on the shoulder. "Then give them a show. That's what New York expects."